leadership for me is the process that can address the challenges imposed to women by the patriarchal model where we are in our societies. I mean domination, I mean control, I mean competitiveness, I mean all the issues of power relation. So I think we need the feminist leadership to address that. Feminism important for leadership and leadership important for feminism. They are complementary. We need a feminist perspective to build a strong leadership. If you want to address the power, if you want to address identity, if you want to address all those, the domination, if you want to address the agency, all those problems that are linked to the patriarchal model in which we are living in, we need a feminist perspective to build a strong leadership. It has to do with redistribution of power, redistribution of resources. In my case, I'm working with, I'm advocating for the women's right to land and forest, so the tenure security for the women is very important to have a feminist perspective to change the trends where we have in Africa so far 2% of women with property right to land. We have to change that and take it to 30%, to 40%, or ideally to 50%. Why not? So we need the feminism help leadership to be strong, and the leadership is using feminist perspective to be also strong. That's why all those two are complementary. Day-to-day life, how can I experience feminist leadership? I think as an advocate for the women's rights, I'm looking for the processes and mechanisms. In my country, for example, we have Red Plus processes, we have climate change processes. I'm looking for that. How best they are in mainstreaming gender in that, and how best they can improve what they are doing. In my office or in the organizations, I'm looking for the decision-making structure. Who is there? How many women are there? And those women, what is their capacities? What is their background? How much they know about leadership and how much they know about feminisms? I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the responsibilities. I'm looking for what I call, responsibilities, functions, promotion. How do they promote the staff in a given organization? What are the criteria? How good, how gender sensitive are those criteria? So I'm looking for, and in the real life, in the rural area with my rural women, I'm looking for the practices, because the customs there, the customs and traditions are not favorable for the women. So I'm looking for that. The chief of the family, the village chief, how are they planning? How, if there are any opportunities, project coming in, who is participating to the planning, who is called for the training, who has access to information. So I'm looking for all that in my daily life, and it's from there that I know maybe we need to build the capacity of this specific target group. It's not only women leadership or feminist leadership with women. We can also build the capacity of men. What are the challenges? The challenges are linked, I'm sorry to say it, and to come back to that, the challenges are linked to the patriarchal model. You see, in our culture, women cannot own land, they cannot own forest, they cannot own trees, but they are the first and the main producers of agricultural food. They feed the family, they feed the society, but they don't have a secure access to land. Those are the real challenges we have to address with a feminist perspective. The challenges are linked to those customs, traditions. Yes, we have to address them. The culture is so difficult. How can you change a culture? That's a great challenge. How can you change a culture when in the culture, the cultural belief is that women do not own land? You have your son and daughters. You give the land to your son and you prevent your girl or your daughter having to have access to land. How can you address that? I think we need to do that. And also our policies. I think our policies are too neutral, gender neutral, and unless we also transform the policies, it will be difficult. And you know, changing reforms, can I cite a reform in Cameroon? We started with the reform of the forestry law in 2008. Till today we have not got a new forestry law in my country, because it's a process which is very difficult, very complex, very long, with a lot of interest, high-level interest. So we have to address that. We have to address the access to resources for the women. Yes, women-led organizations who are who are best placed to work to promote leadership, feminist leadership, don't have adequate funding, don't have adequate resources, and we have also to challenge that, and we have to challenge all the system. That's why in our women major group we say feminists need system change, because we have to address the system, the systemic approach and model. We need to change them for a transformational change. Concrete result. I'm always happy to share what REFACOF network has accomplished in my country, in Cameroon, within the Red Plus process, as we succeeded to have from the government entities 30% of the representation of women in all decision-making structure at all levels, local level, subnational level, and national level. And I see that this is also going into the elected people, where we have now in the council, very well noted that you want to present your candidature for the council, your list, you have to make sure you have at least 30% of the women in your list, and even as a member of the council, executive team of the council. I think things are getting gradually in a good direction, but feminist leadership is not only, it does not only deal with representation. I think we need also to understand that and to build the capacities of all actors in feminist leadership approaches. From there, we are sure that the decentralization which is currently coming in our countries, the patriarchal model of our society, have a chance to change, unless we work with the chief of family dominated by male, chief of villages dominated by male. Unless we work with those people, our rural women will hardly get access to land, secure property land. That we'll never achieve that unless we work with them. So we need to train them, we need to build their capacities. Thank you.